Hour with Lisa, Season 13, Episode 6, coming to you from the living room. Yeah, it looks like I am not all organized with the background, but what it is those are the crafty things that we're going to need, so I need to have them in reach. And this is our Christmas tree that looks like it's in prison, but that's because the dogs keep opening the Christmas gifts. So it is sort of in a little prison. I'll wait for people to sign on. I also need to, now that I'm live, I need to figure out this iPad again. I broke my glasses that I usually put in my hair, but they're only 3-pound glasses, which, I mean, 3 pounds is 3 pounds, but I have these ones as well that are another 3-pound pair. But because I put them in my hair and I'm just rough and I'm not gentle with things, they just tend to break. So how is everyone? How has your week been? What are you up to? I'm just going to wait for people to tune in. But we are going to get started on the crafts as soon as I'm ready, because there is just too much to get to. Okay. So this seems to work, but it's the same thing that I did last week. I don't know how. Maybe it'll show up when someone comments, then I might be able to see the comments. We'll see. Oh yeah, okay, I think I should be able to see the comments. Although it looks like it's lagging a little bit, so I don't know if that's our internet. Let me know if I'm lagging or not. So I am going to tilt the camera down so that you guys can see. I don't know what's happening here. Am I frozen? Am I frozen? You won't be able to answer me that if I am. Wait, am I still live? What is happening on this iPad? Sorry, guys. It's like starting something new. Technology. What is... I don't know what I'm doing. Let me see. Wait, what? Lisa is live now. Yeah. Okay, so I guess I'm live. I don't know what's happening. Why it's acting like that. I just want to be able to see comments, although you are close enough there that I should be able to see them anyways, but I'm trying to get used to doing it this way so that in the future I have this to do as well. So, all right, so this is our Christmas crafting, and we are going to get started with some Christmas crafts. I don't think I have done, did we do Halloween? No, the kids made Halloween cookies and stuff like last year, not this Halloween that just passed, but the year before, but we didn't film that or anything. It was just for fun. So, okay, so the first thing that we need to take care of now that I know my mom is on, Mom says, hi, Lisa. Hi, Mom. So, Mom, happy birthday. Today, my mom is 84. No, I'm just kidding. She's not 84. She's 74. So, happy birthday, Mom. And we were going to do, like, what we like to do for our family in Canada and stuff is we get together and do a video singing happy birthday to them. However, it's not going to happen today because Steve is still sick in bed, Aurora's sick in bed, and Erica's just getting sick now. She's just starting to get what the other two are trying to get over. So they're all sick in their beds. Thomas isn't sick, and neither am I, knock on wood. But, yeah, so it's not doable for us all to get together to make you a video, Mom. But we all do wish you a happy birthday and hope that your day has gone good so far. I know it's only early afternoon there right now, just after 1, so hopefully the rest of your day is good as well. And Mom, do you like my outfit? So some of you may know, some of you might not know that when my mom and my sister were over here, they came with me to the Feathers, with me and Steve, to the Feathers Christmas party, and we wore matching outfits, sort of matching. They complemented each other. So I was the elf, Melody was the Santa Claus, and my mom was an angel, and they were all like similar, like knit things. And my knockers look huge, but that's because I'm just wearing a sports bra. I'm not wearing a proper bra, so it's weird how big they look right now with the. Anyways, yeah. so that's delayed. So now I just saw myself grab my boobies, and I see how that might not look as good as, you know. Okay, so let's get going on the crafts. So the thing I'm sitting at is not a table, although I probably do have a table this size that I could have used. It's like, it's a plastic thing on wheels. It's like a bin on wheels, and I have a table on top of it, which I guess I could have. Anyways, so I can't put my legs under it, but it's gonna work for what we need it for, I think. So should I do, no, I thought I would lean it down like that, but actually now I think I'm going to lower it. Let me, okay, sorry, I am still here. I'm just doing this. Again, I don't have a setup properly for doing this kind of stuff. That's still gonna, so I can push you out though. But I'd like to have my face in. Oh, well, sorry. I was watching the iPad and it showed that we went offline. So maybe I'll just go like this. And then, because I'm going to be looking down anyways while we're making the craft, so I'll just lean down like this. I hope I'm not frozen. I don't know what the internet was doing again. Okay, so let's get started. I am going to take my drink, Merry Christmas, and move it out of the way. And by move it out of the way, I mean drink it. But I don't want to spill it, because I am a clumsy. Whoa, I almost spilled it. Clumsy girl. So let's get started. I have some wet paint here because I'm working on different things. So we are going to start. Our very first thing that we're going to start with is these oranges. I have two types of oranges that I saw that I want to do. Okay. So what if I can set that there? All right. So I saw these on the internet. And if you can eat the oranges, so you take an orange, let's see, I don't know if these go together, but say that was your orange, you cut it in half, scoop out the orange so you can eat it, and then you put these in if you have a dehydrator, you can put them in the dehydrator. I have an air fryer. It might have a dehydrating setting that you can dehydrate them in. That's what I use, is my air fryer to dehydrate them. Otherwise, you can put them in an oven on a low heat. It takes, either way, it takes, hours to dry it, but it's a low heat, and it dries slowly. It's taking the moisture out of them. If you have a really sunny window or radiators or somewhere that's hot and dry, you can leave them there too. But, anyway, so these are hard now, and so they won't mold or anything either. The thing that I saw them do is we're going to make mushrooms. So, but what I was going to say is then after I saw these ones that we're going to make, I saw a different version where they left the orange in and then dried them out. Now these ones, they are almost dry, but they're not quite. So these are, I had to pull these out of the dehydrator because I am in the process of dehydrating them. But at the same time, you can see how the underneath, once it's dehydrated, that'll look more like a mushroom than the other ones. So these will work out well too. Now with the ones that are like this, with they went out in the garden. Well, I don't know if they went in the garden. They might have bought them. I went out in the garden, but these are pretty skinny. I don't know. They use sticks. I kept these kind of long because I didn't know how I wanted them to be, but I'll probably shorten them. And then we're going to glue them in there. So I'll show you. So these ones are all, like I said, these ones are all dry that I have on here. But I've already started painting two of them. So let me set this down for a moment and reach over yonder. Okay. I was trying to get like some of these done so that I could show you right away. These are feeling, because I put paint on them, they're feeling a bit soft again. So I could just put them back in the dehydrator to make sure they're totally dehydrated, but it's just the moisture from the paint that's made them a bit soft. So I've done brown in the inside on these ones. Now this is just me coming up. I put a bit of a red color on top, but I don't know how well it worked, but we'll try this. I can't remember what they use. So I have red and brown on here from stuff that I've been doing. So, and I have, okay, what this has taught me about doing crafts today, what I've learned. Oh, first things first, let me do this. Okay, I'm using acrylic paint, and actually for these, this is the only thing I think I'm really using acrylic paint for, but not only am I really messy, this plastic tablecloth is still nice, and acrylic paint doesn't come off of things. So before we do anything, it's so funny, this is actually a Christmassy like tablecloth thing, but as you can see, it's been used for lots of painting projects, so I'm going to put that there. And the other thing that I'm going to do with my cute little outfit is put on, so I guess here for shop, like in school, shop classes or whatever, they have these blue aprons, and then, so what did we call it when I was industrial arts? You'd have these blue ones, and then in the kitchen for like food studies and stuff, they would wear white ones. So Steve, when I got here, they had a bunch of these aprons, blue and white, for the kids from going to school. So, which is weird because then when the girls went to school, I don't think they needed any of these things, but we have them. So I'm going to use this one because we're doing crafts instead of the white ones that are for the kitchen. All right, I think that I can put this up just a little bit because I can, I don't know what the best way to do this is. So, okay. All right. I can see that this is cinnamon sticks. So that's the other thing that I was going to say is that on the oranges that have the inside still, they used cinnamon sticks. I love cinnamon. That's one of my very, very favorite flavors. And well, I'm not going to do it now, but you could make it a hole in there and stick it in further, or just glue it on. And they use gorgeous cinnamon sticks. So not only are you going to get the smell of the oranges, and you know what else I just thought, although the oranges aren't fresh, so, but we're going to paint little spots on these. You could actually stick cloves in these. I would probably stick them in before they dehydrate and make your house smell nice while they're dehydrating as well. I'll have to try that. I'll try that with one of them because they're not totally dehydrated, and I'll post pictures of it after. But I don't have my cloves out right now, and like I said, these have to go back in the dehydrator. So the ones with the cinnamon sticks, I'm not going to be gluing any of those while we're on here right now because this is not fully dehydrated. So if I put this up more like that so you can see me, but I push it out further, then you can see me and the table. Okay, this should work better. So, paint. I have the apron on, I have a thing down on the table, I have some paint. Okay, so what I was saying is what this has taught me about crafting is that it has been a long time since me and Steve have painted, like actually years. And it's been even longer for me. I don't know when the last time I used my embossing stuff or like just anything. Like I'm just realizing that like lots of our paints aren't good anymore. What else did it just my ink pads. Oh yeah, I have the ink pads for something that we're doing, but I know that I forgot that when we made the centerpiece, the table favors for Amy and James's wedding, we used the black ink pads, but even then they were on their way out. So I need to order another black ink pad, but I don't want to buy more craft stuff unless I'm going to use it. But the paints, like I need to use them before they go bad. Now that looks super duper good. It's nice and red. The underneath is brown, and I think if I'm going to do the other one, this red too, and then it's going to be, it reminds me already of those type of, my brain stopped working. What? So like a mushroom, the type of mushroom from Alice in Wonderland. It's called a, you know, they're red with the white spots. They're poisonous. Like, I've always had a fascination with Alice in Wonderland. I've obviously named one of the kids Allison after my grandma Alice. And now we live in Cheshire where, you know, there's the Cheshire Cat from Alice in Wonderland. Toadstools, that's what I'm trying to think of. Toadstools. So that is such a beautiful red. And this is almost a Christmas red that I've been using for some of the other things that we're going to make. It's not actually Christmas red. It's your standard red. I can't remember what it's called. Crim something. All right, so I'm going to let these dry. That's the other thing with doing crafts. And that's why I wanted to have some done, because when you're working with things like that, it takes a while to dry. So while those are drying, we're going to move on to the next thing. Now, I'm going to show you this little guy. Hang on, I just swallowed wrong and now I'm choking to death. I made this when I was about 12 years old. Speaking of like shop class and everything else, I was in home economics and we did different things, including sewing. I sewed a stocking for Christmas, and her name was Mrs. Croy, our teacher, who did all of these types of things with us. And I just really, really appreciate everything that I sewed an apron, which I don't have anymore, but I still have my stocking and other things. But this was, I think, probably grade 7. I can't remember for sure. And it says Merry Christmas, everyone on it. And it's a little sled. The only thing is, you can see that not only is the stringy thing, it's like not doing so well. And I just put these new blades on a couple days ago because that was the only thing, the blades were broken off. But this was made, like I said, when I was about 12 years old in grade 7. So about 1991 or 1990, somewhere in there. So it was a quick, simple thing made out of popsicle sticks. When I looked it up to find the template for it, I looked at a few other ones, and this is one that I made. Now, the other thing is, when we made them in school, I can tell by looking at this, but I'm going to come closer to you so I don't lean in the paint, and I want to show you the difference. When I made this in school, you can see that the corners are really sharp. They're not, I don't know how to, I can't see without my glasses if we're in focus or not. You can see that it's really sharp corners. They did not give us sandpaper. Hi, Emmanuel. They did not give us sandpaper in school to just sand the corners and stuff. But now that I'm older, which is fine, because if you're 12 years old, this was still, out of the ones that I looked up online and tried to make, this is still probably the easiest one to make. So we're going to make that. And, what I was going to show you is that I actually mimicked the exact same thing because I wanted to see how easy the different ones were to make. And this is the one I made a couple days ago. This is what I made in school when I was 12. And but I sanded the edges so that it's just a more smooth looking and everything else. But it's still really cool that I still have this to hang on the Christmas tree. So we could make one like this. I made this one as well. So it's a different style. And I like this the blades. But Emmanuel says, what's the topic today? The topic is Christmas crafts, easy Christmas crafts. So I made the blades. I like the blades. Like, I like how they're longer and stuff like that. But these ones are cut with a normal popsicle stick. When I was at the craft store the other day, they had some bigger popsicle sticks, kind of like tongue depressors, like at the doctor's. So I think then I'm not going to make it as wide, as tall as a tongue depressor, but just a little bit taller than that, because when this is sitting down on something, you don't see the blades as much. I just colored this with a marker pen. So it wasn't even like I got the paints out for this. I just wanted it to have a little bit of color. In the example that I saw on theirs, they had the little rope was the same color as the blades, but I didn't have that color, so I just used this green. So you can use what you have. So we are going to make a little sleigh from popsicle sticks. There's a few different versions that we're going to make as well, and I did want to have them already made so I could just show you, but time ran out. So they're half made, and we can put them together on here. So for my birthday, speaking of craft things, what I have and what I don't have, we already had a glue gun before, but the glue gun that I had was very poor and didn't work very well. So for my birthday, Steve got me, because I would see these people who craft online, and they would use these glue guns and have like such precision with them. So for my birthday, Steve got me a nice glue gun. It is Bosch. So there's a TV show here, and they say Bosch like as in awesome. So not only is it like Bosch like awesome, but like it's the brand Bosch. So I'm not endorsing any brands. I'm just saying Bosch is a really good brand, and you can see the tip as well is like this long skinny thing. So it's very precise. Okay, so I see that there's comments, but let me see how to find the comments on here again. Oh, I did it last time. This is silly because I'm just on the iPad. I'm just acting like Steve watching it. As I said before at the beginning of this when we were talking to my mom, Steve's sick upstairs. He didn't go out because he's sick. So, I don't know if I turn it this way, will I see them? Come on. I can see where I can write one, but if I say hello, that's going to come up as Steve, but that's actually me. Although he can watch it on his phone upstairs in our room. I don't know how to, there we go. I did it somehow again. Okay, so, Emmanuel said, wow, so interesting. I can't wait to do it. My kids, that's great. Well, Emmanuel, like I said, the one that we're doing right now is really easy if you can get popsicle sticks. Yes, so that's what Emmanuel just said. The problem over here is how to get the materials. Is there any other way that are not in Europe can do it? Popsicle sticks are a pretty easy thing, and Emmanuel, because I know you, we can just post you some popsicle sticks. They won't get there before Christmas, but you can still make these things. And actually there's lots of things you can make out of popsicle sticks. So if you can't find popsicle sticks where you are, then I can send some. But the other thing that you weren't watching at the beginning, but we're making out of oranges, and sticks. So if you can get oranges where you are, you cut them in half and you dry them out. And I know you got hot sun in Africa, so you can dry them out like that, because if you don't have a dehydrator. And then you take the sticks and we're going to glue them and make mushrooms. So that was, and then what's the other one? I had something else that we were going to do. So, yes. Okay, let's focus. So, popsicle sticks. Oh, I know what the other one is. Okay, so popsicle sticks. Let's get going here. Now, I looked online for, so I got this off Amazon. It's just a pack of 600, I think, or 300 popsicle sticks. Yeah, maybe 300. And I looked for a template for the sleds. If you need me to make a template, I can, but really I just looked at the pictures and kind of guessed what the shape was because I couldn't find an actual template for it, which is weird. Maybe if I looked harder I would, but I couldn't, in images I couldn't find a template. So I'm going to bring you guys closer when I get some of these popsicle sticks out of here. I'm not going to plug this glue gun in yet until I need it because then it'll just drip. So come closer, my darlings. Come closer. All right. So for we have our popsicle sticks. We're going to do our shapes. For this easy, simple one, especially for kids, there is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 pieces that we need. Okay, so again, because I had the one that, sorry, the dog's barking, because I had the one there, that I can just do this and see the lines. If you have a pen, like I said, if we need, you know what I'm gonna do? I will make a template. I could try and find one, but I'll take the pieces after and I'll make like on a piece of paper where I trace them, and then you're able to print it off and make them the exact size that you need. Sasha, you going outside? Lena's coming in because she's barking. Okay, so it's a doggy world here. This one here is rounded right there, so we don't need to cut that. And I actually, when I made these other ones, I was just using a cheap pair of scissors in the craft room. I didn't even get out my good scissors. Oh, Emmanuel says, hello boss, I can see you, sir. That was where Steve says hello, Emmanuel. That was actually me because I'm using his iPad. So it's signed in on the iPad as him. Like I said, he could be watching as well on his phone, but he's probably watching TV or sleeping because he's not well. So I can just cut it like this. And like, it's honestly that simple. These are so easy to cut. And now see how, like I said, I did the edges round instead of square. So let me see. I'm going to just make sure this is level. Well, it doesn't have to be perfect. That's the best part about this. And that's why it's easy for kids as well. So like that. Can you guys believe it's like Christmas in a few days? Sandpaper. If you don't have sandpaper, you can use a rock or anything that will bring the edges down. Just a little bit so that they're, I mean, even this one's not the same as that one, which if you're a bit OCD, that might drive you crazy, but at least it looks a little bit more round than not. So now we're going to get these two side pieces. They're shorter than this one and they go down on an angle. But what you can do is, when I take a popsicle stick, now I've saved all the itsy bitsy parts and stuff, but to see if I can use them for other pieces because I don't like to waste. So if I cut this right here, now I know you guys, oh yeah, that's not the piece I need right now. I know you guys don't have this to go off of, but like I said, by the time you guys get your popsicle sticks and everything, I can send you the template. Now, instead of lining up the other one like this with this one, I could do that, or I could just take this piece that I've cut and use it as my template on another popsicle stick, because we know that we need two pieces. They'll be the same size. There, so that's our sides. So again, we can take our sandpaper and just round the corners off a little bit if we want, so that they don't look as, you know, I don't know, it looks more like piece of wood. I don't know. See the difference? Thank you. Emmanuel says, wow, interesting. I'm getting it. So this is, honestly, this is so simple. It's only a few pieces, you know, like okay. So we got the two sides. We got the middle. I'll lay them down here so we know what we're doing. Wait, see, I'm already, okay, so that one's there, that one's there. In. Oh yeah, this way. Okay, so like that. Then we need the two pieces on the bottom that brace it. And that's where you can take your extra junk pieces, like the one that flew onto the floor. So I'll cut that there. And here, I can't get down there because of the blade, so I'm just guessing. And then I'll pick the other one up off the floor. If you want your slats further apart, you could make this longer. You can make your sled wider. And here in the UK, they call them a sledge instead of a sled, but whatever. So there's this. You can't, I mean, you're not really going to see that. So it's up to you if you want to do the corners on that with your sandpaper. Again, like just a few brushes of sandpaper on the corners makes it look that much better. But you don't really need to do that. Now let me find that piece that flew away. Well, I don't really need to actually, you know, actually probably quicker if I just, oh, there it is. Okay. Lena, you can't go back outside because you're just barking. So now again, I can pick up this one and just put it on my scrap to know where to cut. Again, you can, if you're more comfortable, if you're making more than one, you can use a pen and make your lines like that. Then when you take away this one, you're going to see your lines where you need to cut. And then corners if you want. Oh, I cut that crooked. That's okay. I'm not that bothered because, again, this is on the bottom. And, again, if a kid's doing this, it's not going to be perfect. So you can see it's a bit wonky-donkey. It's not totally straight, but it's going to be good enough. So there's that. Now we need 3 more pieces, and that's it. So our pieces that we need are our blades. So, and this is like, I had to just look on the internet and guess the blades because I don't have the original blades from my original one from when I was a kid because the blades broke many years ago and they weren't replaced. Now, the thing about the blades is you're going to want to do them on an angle as well. Again, I'll send the template. So you can see how this one is on way more of an angle, sharp angle than this one. And we need 2 of those. So again, I know you can't see my lines very well with unless I make a mark of them, but see, I should have my glasses on. Okay, corners rounded. Emmanuel, just let me know if you want me to send you you don't need lots of sandpaper. As you can see, it's only like it barely takes anything to do the corners, but let me know if you need me to send a bit of sandpaper with the popsicle sticks. I know it'll be funny too because, I mean, I guess that you guys don't get snow there, so you wouldn't really have a sleigh like this. And to be fair, we don't really get much snow in this part of England anyways, where I am. I guess over by there's these hills where they get more snow, but okay, so we got our blades. And the last piece is this, I don't know what it's called, but it's the part that the pull rope goes into. There's probably a specific name for it, but I am not a sleigh maker, so I don't know. I'm gonna just guess about there and there. And again, this one, the way they have it on this one is I did it like that on my original one from school. When I was 12, it was a little bit less. So it really depends on how you want your thing to be pulled, how you want it to be cut. Now, this is something I just remembered that I don't have here. With this one that we're making right now, it is, like I said, out of the ones that I've made, it's the easiest one. However, saying that, there's this part now that as it healed, oh, you can't see because of the red paint. I hurt myself when I was making that one. I jabbed well, actually it's broken, so I don't even know where to buy a new one. I looked when I was at the craft store, but basically it's like a piercing tool that you pierce the little holes in there. And I don't have a cutting board here or anything. There's a tiny little spider here that's trying to visit with us. Where did he go? You can't see him when he's on the black, but when he's on the yellow, yeah, there's a tiny little spider that came from somewhere that's trying to visit with us while we're doing this. So these scissors are very sharp, so I can try and poke it in. I'm going to use another piece of wood underneath it because I don't want to go into this table. So I'm just going to use these scissors. Now be careful doing this. I don't know what I did in school and I just split the wood. So you need something to make your hole properly. You're not going to have a little tiny drill bit, but something to, yeah. So now I've split this. I can use glue to glue this, but you can see that I just split. How can I show you without splitting it more? Do you see how I split that trying to make a hole? But what you need to do is make the holes for the rope to go in, or like the other one that I made, you can tie it around. If you don't, like, this is just tied around the ends instead of making a hole in it, which is probably safer because honestly, I don't remember how we made these holes in school. And when I made them on this one with my piercing tool, I slipped and put the piercing tool into my skin. After each cut of the little stick, must I sandpaper it? You don't have to, Emmanuel. See, this one that I made when I was 12, all the pieces are cut and they're just sharp. They were not sanded at all. So it's still going to look cute. And you can see these are sharp corners. You don't have to sand it. You can just glue it together. And then whatever kind of glue you have, you can use white glue like in school kind of glue that they have, or I'm going to use a glue gun. But white glue, super glue, whatever type of glue you have. Emmanuel says, oh, thank you so much. So I guess it is time to plug this beast in. The only problem with this is that because it's new, the cord is like still like from being folded. And so it, yeah, I guess it stands. Of course, because I was going to say it doesn't stand well, but it's standing well now. And that's the other, I wish it had an on-off switch. But it doesn't. I don't think most of them don't. Just plug it in. So I'm going to let that heat up. And we have all our pieces. Now you can, if you want, you can paint your pieces before you put them together. This isn't painted at all. And again, this is written with little marker pen, like just pens like these in school. And then there's, wait, is this? Oh yeah. Yeah, so there's some kind of silver glitter that I glue that I put on in when I was a kid. So I did the same thing on this one. And I wrote the same message, Merry Christmas, everyone. So it doesn't have to be, you know, spectacular. I know the writing's backwards for you. That's just the way it does it right now. So let's go. We have our pieces here. We're waiting for our glue gun to heat up. And like I said, also before, if you do these pieces, once before you glue everything together, you can take more popsicle sticks and then make more pieces just using these as your template. And then just make sure that you keep your pieces together. Where's my piece that was the one I put underneath. Where is my piece? That's my blade. Oh, this is the one that where are my glasses? So this is a lot going on here. So yeah, while my glue is heating up, I'm just gonna try and make these holes a little bit bigger. But like I said, I split the wood, so now I'm gonna have to glue the wood. I'll have to ask Steve what tool we have to make a piercing without wrecking it. I wonder what we used in school. Actually, my little sister Tina is a teacher, and I mean, Mrs. Croy is probably retired now, but I know when my sister Tina started teaching and I was still living in Canada, we went out for they went out for a teacher's thing, and I was with my sister, and Mrs. Croy was there, so that was really cool to see her after all those years. These scissors that I'm using here are precision tip scissors. You don't really need these for this. They are more for scrapbooking and when you need to cut papers out and stuff that's why they have a cover, because they are actually very sharp, very pointy, and if you're not using them, you should keep the cover on them because you can you can hurt yourself with those too. Is this ready? Okay, I think my glue gun is ready, so let's start putting things together. I'll bring this one here so you can see them. There, so that you can see, and I'm going to you can see these ones here, and I will put this together with the glue gun. Whoa, I'm dripping already. So, which do we want to do first? Let us take our long middle. That is not our long middle. This is our long middle. And we are going to glue one of the underneath bits here with the long middle. So we're going to make like a T. So I'm going to make a T right there. And you got to try and get it centered because the glue from a glue gun dries very quickly, which is a benefit if you want, like other glues, you have to wait a longer time for them to, but if you don't get it centered, which I didn't totally center it perfectly, then you can take it apart, but you could split the wood and everything else. So now we know where that T is. I'm going to put this one down here as well. You can see that it's spaced there. So I'm going to do it about the same distance. Okay, now we're going to flip this over, and we have this middle bit here, and then we are going to put dabs of glue right here for our sides. Remember that when you're putting your sides on, you want them to go this way so that the back will curve like that. So make sure you got the right pieces and that they're the right way. Like I said, before you get your glue ready, because the glue it dries very quickly. All right, so put this one on the end. You can see that it's right at the edge so that you're not going to see those things underneath. And, shoot, I need to bring it down here. So it's covering those. Man, I did not do this one as good as, but it's kind of in line with that, and these ones might already be dry. What did I do differently? Oh, okay, well on this one actually I did put them so you can't see the things underneath. they're just in line, but on this one from school, you actually can see them underneath, but I don't think it looks as good. So this is what we have so far. All these long stringy bits from the glue once they're dry. Because remember, a hot glue gun can be dangerous as well. You can burn yourself with it quite badly. So be careful with it. And if you're letting your kids use it, just supervise them depending on what age they are. Now, as you can see, this one is a very wonky donkey. It is, I tried to make it nice there, but this one's a bit taller than that one, and it is looking a bit weird. But you know what? That's the point, is that anybody can make these. Kids making them, they're still going to look cool, even if they're not perfect. So let's put on this piece right here. Lena's licking her paw. And then, now this, we can write on this before we put the blades on, make it easier. So I just have these pens here, but you can decorate it however you want. Like I said, you can paint it before or after. You can do whatever you want. So this is how I did this one. Yeah, I'll just do it the same. I'm just gonna do leaf there. Lena! And then I wrote Christmas. In green, and then one down here, and then another leaf. Can you see what I'm doing? I'll show it to you in a second. So I've done that so far in green. Again, I know the writing's backwards, sorry about that. And then I'm going to take my red. And I did, on those I did 4. Oh, I'm going to color these ones in because I just kind of, they didn't look like circles. So maybe now they will. Okay, so I did 4 holly berries, but you can do 3. Usually they come in like 3s. And then M-E-R-R-Y. I have no idea how other people decorated theirs in school. Merry Christmas, everyone. So it says Merry Christmas, everyone. I'm showing you again that this is like, this could be the work of a child, like the one that I made in school. But this is actually one of my favorite decorations on the tree, even if it is childish. My glue is, okay, so now my blades. Is that on? Okay, so we're going to put the blades on. You're going to put them in the middle there. And I'll do one at a time. And you want to try and get them lined up so that it looks straight. So that if you were to pull it with the little string, it would go in the right direction. Oops. Just going to push that glue over a little bit with my blade before it dries because I got it a little bit too far in. And there you go. So we have made a tiny little sled. Very easy. Out of the ones that I've made, this is the easiest one. And the only thing missing now is the string. So I have this. I mean, honestly, I can't remember in school how we made the holes. And I don't remember how, once we had those tiny little holes, we put the whatever type of string I used, this is a silver cord that I used on here. It was from, you know when you buy things and they have tags on them? This was just from a tag from something else that I bought that I saved this stretchy thing and used it on here. So that's upcycling, like, you know, you don't have to buy string if you have some string or whatever. So I'm going to use some of this twine. But again, I don't know, I don't have it with me, but there is some wax I have to make that tighter. I don't know how to, I don't know what I did to feed this in when I was in school. So maybe, like I said, the safer thing to do would be to tie it around like the other one. And then try and get this guy in. I put it in my mouth to try and keep all the little, what are they called? Threads together. I'm still going to use these sharp scissors to poke it through. This is the side that's split, so really I could slide it in the slit that's split, but I need to glue this. I know there's nothing my mom would rather do on her birthday than watch me make crafts. Guys, it's almost Christmas. Are you ready? I've got most of the gifts done, which isn't like me. The house is done. And I still haven't made my tarts or my eggnog, but there. So I just tied one little knot on the back. And there we go. It is not perfect, but that is perfectly not perfect because it's an ornament. It's awesome. It's homemade. It's quick, easy. And if you save your popsicle sticks from the summertime, you'll have enough to make one of those without having to buy popsicle sticks. Wow. You can feel the weight on this. You can tell that those are a lot thicker popsicle sticks and heavy duty wood compared to what you get nowadays. All right, so I have the other ones that I made. Like I said, I showed you guys this one that I made. Oh, did I say that? Emmanuel said, wow, 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 that's nice. Thank you, Emmanuel. So I have this one. I really, like I said, I really do love this one. I just think that the blades are a bit small. So, did I take them out? Where did I must have put them, oh yeah, here. This is the craft sticks that I got from the craft store. So you can see the size difference. Oh, I can open them because I'm not going to do the extra blades now, but you can see the size difference with the ones that I got online, which are just normal popsicle sticks, and these other ones. So again, I don't want my blades to be this big underneath, but I want them to be a bit bigger than the blue ones that I have there. And again, for the design of that, I didn't find a template. I just looked at how they were made and I tried to do it as best as I could. But now these are the other ones that we're going to do. Reach back here. I got all my pieces. There's 4 here. Now this is why I have red paint on me, partly because I painted these already. These ones, all the pieces, they're straight at the bottom, so you don't have to do any sanding there. The tops are the way the popsicle sticks are already, so you don't have to do any sanding there. It has, oh, no, this one I messed up where I put this one first, so it's supposed to only be 2 on the bottom, like that, to hold them together. So this is a pretty standard, straightforward one. So maybe this is easy. And then the blades are similar to the other blades that we made on these ones, but bigger. Like longer. But what we're going to do with these, this is where I said like you can decorate this and write on it and everything before you put the blades on. That's what we're going to do now. These ones, I'm going to show you. I have, this is the one I saw on the internet where the string is the same color as the thing. That's where I got the idea for this one here. I tried to match the, oh, I just broke it. I need to glue it back together. Yeah, that's where I got the color idea for the blades. Okay. So I also have the picture of what we're going to do here with these ones. I wish like my sister Melody and I lived closer because I know we would do crafts together. Okay, which one do I want to do first? I think the simple one I will do first. Give me one moment. Where is it? Oh, did it not print? Oh well, I know what it looks like somewhat in my head, so I don't think it printed. Give me one more chance to look through these and see. Oh, there it is. No, that's the back of that one. Okay, I gotta go from in the noggin. I gotta try and remember it. I'm just gonna have a sip of my pop. Whoa, almost spilled it again. Okay, so there's a company called Stamping Up, and they do a bunch of stamp sets. And, oh, where did I thought I brought everything out here. Lisa, get your stuff together. Okay, I have the stamp sets. Just give me 1 second. I have a bunch of stamp sets, and again, this is what I'm talking about, that I haven't done stamping for a while. And so my ink isn't very good. Where did I put the two? Oh, right here. Okay, so there's a company called Stamping Up, and me and my mom and my sisters, we loved that company for the quality of the stamps and the ink pads and everything. So I have some old Stamping Up stuff. I haven't bought from them for years. But the design that we're going to do on this one is actually online. It was credited to Stamping Up, the company, so I'll give them the credit as well. That's their thing as well. You can use their stamps to make stuff and even sell it, but all they want is for you to credit like where the products came from. This one's called Snowflakes, this set, and it says Warm Winter Wishes, and it has just a bunch of different snowflakes. Now this is one of my favorite things to do. Oh, I'm gonna unplug the glue gun momentarily because we don't need it at the moment. This is one of my favorite things to do. I haven't done this in years. For this, you can just use normal ink. You can draw on it with a pen. You can do whatever you want. But what we're going to do is called embossing. Now, you would know embossing from invitations. I'm just going to talk to you like this for a second. You would know embossing from invitations, like wedding invitations and stuff like that. It's like when the writing is like bumpy and raised, that's embossing. So like a wedding invitation usually has embossed writing. So there's two ways to do it. There is a type of, no. I can't remember what the clear stuff is called. I think it starts with a V, but I can't remember what it's called now. But look up embossing and you'll know the type of ink. It's like a clear stuff that you stamp your stamp onto first. The other way to do it is with this craft ink. Now the difference between pigment ink, this is a water-based dye ink. So pigment ink and craft ink, pigment ink dries right away, but it will smear with water. Craft ink won't smear with water if it gets wet, but it takes a long time to dry. However, using it for embossing, it doesn't take as long to dry because you'll see we're using the heat gun. So this one that they had, that they did, which I don't have a picture of now, had a few different snowflakes. So I'm going to take this one, which is like a background one. That's why it has a bunch of little ones on it. And we're going to do all over like a background, okay? So we do, now like I said, this type of ink takes a long time to dry. So if we're putting it on, we don't have to worry about it drying right away. So you can turn so they look like they're different. They're not just like, so turn it this way and that and every which way. And I'll show you this part in a second. And now Lena is chewing on a bone. So you can see that I did a background of snowflakes. I'm going to take a bigger snowflake. I'm going to take two, maybe three. So I'll take these three that are different sizes. And I'm only going to make one of each on it. So I'll put one here. Now these need to be, remember that once you're doing this pigment ink, it can be really messy, kind of like acrylic paint. And so your stamps will need to be washed before you put them away. Don't let them touch anything, because I don't think pigment ink comes out of clothes either. That's why these are, you can use pigment ink on material, like on clothes, to make it. So there, I did 3 different sizes, only one of each. And then, dang it, I wish I had the picture. It's on my phone, but then they have, on this one that we're doing here, that's the dog with her bone. So I have 3 pieces that aren't painted. There's the 2 blades for underneath, and then this is the thing that has the strap on it. So that goes there. Oh, I said we don't need the hot glue gun, but we actually do. But before I put, oh, embossing. Sorry. Okay, so this, you have your white there, and I have white embossing powder. So it is a powder. Let me just plug the glue gun back in. Okay. Oh, I should do this. I'm going to do it over the top here like this. So put this on here. I have a spoon in here already, and because you don't want to waste if you don't need to. So whatever embossing powder you take, you sprinkle it on. You can sprinkle it on all over like that. Versamark. Yeah, I think the other stuff is called Versamark, the clear stuff that you can use for embossing. So now I've covered the whole thing, and you just tip it like that, knock off the excess. So that's where all this can go back into there because you don't want to waste. You can see that it's like a powder on there, which you could do with glue. You could use your stamps with the glue and then put like sparkles or powder. But this is so awesome. So you take your heat gun. Again, this is just a cheap heat gun, but it does get quite hot. You don't want to have it too close because you don't want to burn it, but you just blow on it. Oh, and you don't want to burn your fingers either. You can use, not tongs, what do you call them? Tweezers, like to hold it away from you. So you're going to put it on there, and you're just going to move it around and heat it up until it melts. You'll see it melt. It'll start looking like plastic. I don't know if you guys can see while I'm doing it, but hang on, I'll show you. I haven't done this literally in years, so it feels really good to get out the old craft stuff again. Okay, I'll finish. So you want it to look like a plastic, a shiny plastic instead of powder. But again, I did forget that this can get really hot, so you want to keep the heat gun away from your fingers. Use tongs or tweezers or whatever to hold it away from you. I'm going to put my glasses on in a second just to make sure that the powder's all been... Yeah, ow, my finger. Okay. Shut that off. Yes. So if you go too close to it, it not only can burn, it can kind of melt and look mushy. So you want to try and get your ink nice so that it doesn't, but I don't know if you can tell that is embossed now. So that's not coming off. That is not, and it, as soon as it's cool, it's fine. It's not going to come off of there. It's not going to get on anything like the ink. So Leela says, happy Sunday, Lisa. I'm glad to catch you live. Must be late evening on your end. It's 9:20 p.m. here, but this is our second out of, no, well, I guess there's 3 crafts that we're making, but this one, again, these are quick and easy. Obviously the time in painting. This one, when I painted it with the same red paint, but I just did it like a dry, like my brush was almost, didn't have very much paint on it, so I made it just look like a little bit of paint, so it looks more like a wood one. Whereas these ones I painted like solid red and made sure it had it everywhere. So I could have also used like a brown and like distressed this, or a black to make it look dirty or older. So what we're gonna do now is we are going to water-based. So I have black pigment ink, and I'm going to, the way that these Stamping Up ones, again, I'm not sponsored, but Stamping Up, one of their things that they have with their ink pads is the way that they open, the ink pads are always facing down, so then the ink, when you do this and tip it up to use, because it was stored with the ink pad down like that, all the ink is at the surface for you to use. So I am going to take the bar that goes across here like this, and I'm going to, I think they had the word Noel written on it, but I am going to, I wonder if I can just do the word winter. No, that won't fit. It's too big. Okay, so I have another set here. And this one is called, well, there's 2 sets in here, Fundamental Phrases and Defining Alphabet. So I have an alphabet set in there and the defining phrases. But I am going to use the word, I think they had anniversary, birthdays, Christmas, the word Christmas. So I don't have one that says, I might have one that says Noel in a different set, but I was trying to hurry before we started. I have with joy as well, but I am, or celebrate, love, family. I'm going to take the one that says Christmas, but I just saw it. Where was it? Oh, I see. They're double-sided. Okay, hang on. I can't see. Christmas. There we go. So these stamps are double-sided where one side says celebrate and one side says Christmas, to use the same block. See, we had to mark our names on them because because me and my mom and sisters had them, and if we had all our stamps out on the table like this before they were cleaned, we needed to know whose they were. So I have the word Christmas, and I'm going to put it on the pigment ink. Oh, see, my pigment ink, it takes forever to dry. That's why these aren't dried out like my other ones, like my other ink is. I'm going to write the word Christmas. Tried to center it, tried to, like, you can't do it again necessarily, but see how on the bottom the letters are almost missing a little bit? Well, that means that the embossing powder isn't going to go there either, but it's better than nothing. We're going to use that because that's what this is about. It is about not being perfect, and we are going to take black embossing powder. Lena, be quiet. No, stop. Lena wants to go back outside now. So she's barking to try and get her way. Okay, so that says Christmas. We're going to take the black embossing powder, put a little bit on where the letters are there. I'm going to go like that to get the extra off. So it says Christmas. It's got the powder on it. Remember not to burn your fingers. And I'll try to do it here again, but again, I don't know if you'll be able to... Oh, wait, why is this not working now? Don't tell me I overheated and killed... I told you this was a cheap one, but... Might have, Oh no! One project and my stupid thing isn't working. I don't think I wonder if I blew the breaker. What am I trying to say? I don't think a hair dryer will get hot enough for it, but this is not good. I need the heat to emboss my word. Why is this not working? I don't think I have another heat gun. All right, so let's put the powder away. Well, that's frustrating now because I wanted to emboss some other things. I can just use the pigment ink, and then if it's just the pigment ink, I'll just have to let it dry like paint. I just have to let it sit and dry. I'll try and figure out why this isn't working, but this is going to get glued on here. I'll glue this on now because I can, if I can get my heat gun working, I can emboss this after. Okay, so it's like that. And then we're going to put the blades on, and I'm going to keep it, I'm going to try and keep it up because that embossing powder I don't want to wear off. I'm mad now. Why isn't that working? I wonder if my heat gun, well, the heat gun's hot. Okay, I put my blades on and I didn't get them straight necessarily. Again, all these wispy little spaghetti pieces of... Okay, and then the last thing is, again, the twine. This is another one where it is wrapped around. Does it wrap? It ties underneath. So this one's tied underneath. But I don't want to touch the... I actually, when I tied it on that one of the blue blades, it kept slipping off, so I actually used a bit of glue. Once I had my twine ready to tie underneath like this to slip on, I put some glue there because otherwise it kept slipping off while I was trying to tie the other knot, which is annoying. So I'll tighten the knot right into the glue. And then if this is too long under here, this piece here, I can just trim it. Okay, however long you want your sled rope. And then underneath, oh, right, let me So I've done the knot before I slip it on, just because, again, it kept slipping off. So I've got a loose knot. I can slide it on there all the way, but then I'll put the glue where I need it. This would be a lot easier if I could set it flat, but I can't because of that embossing that I haven't done yet. I've never wrecked, well, I have wrecked an embossing gun before, but after using it for quite a while, I never wrecked one that quickly. They do eventually die, but not like that. I think I have other embossing guns up in the loft, but they're ones that work on the Canadian power. Like, it won't work here. So there, I've tied that on, and you can see these stringy bits that I can pull off after. And like I said, I can trim this like this. There, that is cute. I wish that Christmas was embossed and even centered, but that is one of the ones we're going to make. We're going to do the other ones now. I'm not going to be able to emboss them because of the... Okay, so let me... Oh yeah, hey, it's working. It just needed to cool down. So where did I just... Oh, I set it over here. So I don't know if you can see it, but again, you'll know it'll go plasticky looking. There we go. That doesn't look as good. Do you know why? Because, yeah, I don't know why I did that. I think it's because it was on too long and, well, what can you do? Anyways, I can always try making another one. So with these three that we're making here, they did some different things. I have in my goodies here, I have some things, but this, like this Let It Snow that I bought is too big for putting on here, but you can do stuff like that. I have a little door that I bought that you can put on here, but that's quite thick. So I know like the time, this is what these ones, this is crafted by Nicole Wright Designs, and this is what she has. Oh, this is the one that says Noel. So this one here says Noel, and it has a wreath. And this is made out of paper. And wish you a Merry Christmas. And this one just says Merry. And these are paper cutouts and different things so that you can put them on. And they have a thicker twine here tied around there. So that is what we're going to make with this. And you can see how they painted it red, but then they've distressed it with a bit of brown or black to make it look more dirty and older. So if I have time, I'll do these after. So that's what I was going to do with these, but because we're short on time and we've already made a couple sleds, let's go back to these now that they're dry. They are red on top, and before I put the white spots on them, I'm going to show you what they did. So these are called eyelets, like eyes. So it's like a hook, but it's closed all the way. They might have smaller ones than this, but this is the size that I have in my kit. So they screw this into the top, and I just put my finger inside, and I can tell that the paint in the inside is not fully dry yet. So that gives you your hook so you can put your string through so you can make this into a garland. So I'm going to do another this is all random stuff that I have. I didn't buy any of these eyes for this. So this one I think is even bigger than that one. So screwing it in. Brown paint not dry inside. Oh, don't touch your dress. I almost wiped my hands on my dress. And I did have white paint on something. Where's my white paint that I was using earlier? Give me 1 second to grab my white paint. Go outside. Oh, actually, you know what I'll use instead of white paint? This is something that I did purchase for our next craft. And it's like these white pens. I think they're like gel pens. Acrylic marker, so maybe it's acrylic paint inside of a marker pen, but you can use like white gel pens. As long as it's white, that's what I bought it for our next craft, that I needed white pens. Okay, so, I think this is the kind where you can see that right now the tip is yellow, it's not white. So I think this is the kind where you have to push it down. Yeah, push it down until, like, you can shake it. You can hear the little thing in there to get the ink or paint going. And then you just keep pushing it like this until, oh man, I haven't done any crafting in so long that I can't even remember if this is how you do it. Do you just do it like that and wait for it to come down? There's no instructions with these. Give me a second. If you know how to do these, just give me a clue. Oh yeah, it is slowly coming down. Boy, it's been a long time. Oh, there we go. Yep, so now I got white on it. So we're gonna just do white dots. That is working actually lovely, especially because you just want white dots. If I had my paintbrush, I might not make the dots as almost perfect as this is doing. Like I said, I know this has gone soft again from painting it. So it'll either air dry or I can put it in the dehydrator again. I don't want to burn the paint, so I might just let it air dry. So there we go. I put some dots on. I don't know how many you want. It's up to you. I don't know how many. I'm not looking at a picture of a toadstool, so more or less, I don't know. I think that looks pretty cool. And then we take our stick, and again, I grabbed, this is just Buglia, which is like a plant that I have outside that I have to trim down every year anyways. So it wasn't, but I'm sure there's parks if you don't have plants in your, now actually I could, there's that eye in there that I could actually screw this to, but I'm also gonna, I screwed that in because the little screw thing was, but I'm still gonna put a dab of glue in there too to hold it in case it comes off of that screw. Yeah, I think I will let them air dry because now I just thought about it. I'm not gonna put them in the what do you call it, dehydrator, because I don't want the glue to get hot. Well, the dehydrator is a low heat, but so this is my first time making these, and I'm making them with you guys, so that is pretty neat. I can try on this one. I can try using a cinnamon stick, seeing we can't make the other ones right now. I'm gonna take my skinniest cinnamon stick, but I might just sniff it again because, as I said, cinnamon is like one of my favorite flavors ever. So remember, we want the white dots. Whoa. Okay, good. And a cinnamon stick. Again, if the screw is in there, I could put it screwed on, but I'm going to also put the glue in there. As little as, or as much glue as you feel necessary. Yeah, it's moving right now because the glue's not dry yet, but that looks almost better than the stick, depending on what kind of sticks you've collected from outside. I'm really happy with that. I put like way lots of glue in there because I don't want it to come out. And then when it's dry, it has the hook on it already to make the garland. So that is easy and quick, and well, besides the dehydrating of the orange peels, the rest is pretty quick and easy. Like I'll show you guys again, for those of you who weren't here at the beginning, that the other one that I saw that are using the cinnamon sticks, these ones, we've eaten the orange out of it. You can just use a spoon to scoop it out. Oh, I need to wait till the glue's dry. So these ones aren't fully dehydrated yet. I need to put them back in the dehydrator, but this is where you can make them if you don't eat the orange, and they look more like mushrooms underneath, and then they use the cinnamon stick on these ones on the internet that I saw. So I need to put those back in the dehydrator. That's why they're not painted or done yet. But at least this, you're only using the shell. You're eating the fruit, which, you know, then you're not wasting anything. I mean, I know those are going to go on the tree as well, or made into garland, so you're not wasting it, but what I mean by that is wasting food that can be eaten. Okay, well, maybe one downside of putting so much glue in is that it's taking a bit longer to dry. So, well, let's do our third and final one, and this one's like so simple, easy. Sandwich bags. Oh, these are smaller than, these are, okay, so in Canada we have like lunch bags that are like paper bags for putting lunches in. These ones are just little sandwich bags, which will work fine for what we're going to do. They made them into like gingerbread houses. And now there's two things that you can do. Actually, I might do the other one if we have time. Just give me a second. So, so okay. I don't want to show you guys because I want to make it. So stop peeking. So you can fold this down like this. Do you guys have hole punches, like one hole punches? Oh, actually I should fold it down at the same time to try and make it even, Steven. So it looks like a house in front. Okay, so I folded those down like that, and then this will be our front, and it'll look like a house. Okay? And then we're going to take our white pens, and we're going to draw, and again, these don't have to be anything special. You don't have to be an artiste to do this, so just do a line. Oh, it has a bit of red in it because of the, oh, I think because this is folded at the bottom, I think I actually, yeah, I did this the wrong way, but that's okay. So you do your line all the way around, and then you can do, like, you could do a line there. See how I just went down like that? Because it's not needing to be perfect. They just did, like, circles like this. And every single one can be different. It doesn't have to be the same. It can be your own ideas, which after I'm done on here, I will make some of my own ideas. Well, this is definitely not perfect, but that's fine because these are, again, these are good things for kids. So we'll do some windows. I mean, you can paint this if you don't have these pens and you have white paint. You can just paint it. And again, there might be brands of these pens that are better than other ones. I just grabbed the cheapest ones online. So, but they're working. They're doing the job. On this one, they did dots all around. Well, I'm pushing too hard, so they're not coming out as dots. They're coming out as blobs. What else did they do? The door. They did a heart here. And the handle. And then another window. We'll just do a small window. Okay, I'm getting a bit messy just because I'm doing it quickly, but you can make it nicer than my crazy bum. Okay, so that, Lena, quiet, that looks like a gingerbread house. Now you're gonna do, I forgot, just give me 1 second. And I'm just going to the office for a second. It won't take me long. There it is, what I'm looking for, and I need, okay, I do have lots of ribbon, but at the moment I'm trying to hurry, and I could use this twine that we have here, but the color is too close to the brown paper bag, so I want you to be able to see it more. So what they do is, because you have this folded over, you can put your treats in there or your gift, like your, say you made that for someone, tuck it into your bag, fold those corners over. You're gonna hole punch here and wherever, just 2 hole punches. It doesn't have to be perfect. So it goes through those back flaps as well. Then if this was your string, you would go through see, I just wanted to show you the contrasting colors. So if this was your string, you would tie it in a knot, tie it in a bow. I mean, I guess yeah, it doesn't work as good as ribbon or string, but this pipe cleaner will still show you the basic idea if I can do it in a bow. And it ties it up and keeps it closed. It will look nicer with ribbon, but so I'll make the other ones that I make, I'll show you. But yeah, so that is gift bags that you can do. The other thing that they did, I'll do it here. 1 second again, because I didn't plan on doing this, but I can do it really quickly because I know the tutor here. So a lot of people order packages this time of year, or you might just have cardboard lying around lots anyways. So again, this is upcycling. So I'm just going to rip it. But if you have scissors, you can use scissors. Well, I'll make it nicer in a second. I just need half of it. So here, we'll take this, and I saw, like, this was a different one that it's the same basic thing, so you can do whatever shape you want your gingerbread house to be. Let's do it, I don't know. I might change the roof in a second. I would be using different. I wouldn't be using my precision tip scissors for this part if I had some other scissors here. So it's basically the same idea. But where is it? All right. Right. Okay. So anyways, they do basically the same thing. We'll just do it like this. And they make this a lot thicker. So you could do that with paint or with this, but like it would be like me like filling this all in and making it look more like snow, which I think with paint or a different type of marker pen it would work better, but this would take a long time with this one. So again, this is cardboard, and like if you have white paint or whatever, you can just do whatever to your heart's desire, whatever designs you can think of. And then again, you do your windows or whatever you want. I don't know what I'm doing. I'm just making some circles so it looks like something. And then I'll show you what else to do. They actually, on theirs, I have to keep walking away, I'm sorry. Oh man. Okay, on theirs, they actually use a black pen as well. Yeah, they use a black pen as well, and then they like, the good thing about using red or black or brown even is that you'll be able to see it better from a distance. Like even you guys watching me do this right now, you might be able to see it better. Did they outline everything? I like that doing it quickly shows you that it doesn't have to be perfect, because I am quite a perfectionist, and if I was doing this for myself, I'd want it to look, you know, super good. But the point of what I'm showing you is how quick and easy these things can be, and that you don't need to be a pro artist to do these things, especially, like I said, all of these are good for kids to do. So what they did after that is they took, and I don't think I have any ribbon in here, but I don't have any ribbon. Just say this was a piece of ribbon, and they took a piece of ribbon at the back and then folded it over and made it so that you can put a string through the ribbon so that you can, so if you were to do it with twine, you know, you would do a bow or something like that so that you could put it on a string on garland, and you could, or you can have these at the fireplace. You could also let's do this. I'm gonna try and make snow. Remember, this is messy, so I don't want to, so I'm just trying to, and I'm going to put some snow on top. Oh, I don't want it all over my hand. So again, because this is pigment ink, I could just leave this dry somewhere safe where it's not going to touch anything because it's not going to come off. Or I can, let's emboss. We'll do the top first and then the bottom. So you'll find different companies have different embossing powder. So just like anything else, there's different qualities. Oh, I'm putting my hands all over. Heat gun. I wonder if this will work better for you guys to see. You can also get this stuff. Oh, I don't have it out, but it's like snow. It blows up. It gets all puffy. Like, so if you're doing a Santa and you want to do a beard, it'll make it puffy, or your snow will look puffy. I can't remember what it's called, but can you see the color difference there, or that it's changing? No, you can't. You might be able to. Okay, I'm going to do the bottom. Now remember, anywhere that there's ink, anywhere that I've put the ink, if I put embossing powder there, it's going to emboss it. That you can't not have it on there. So if you want it to be more precise, make sure you know where you're putting, you know, your ink. There you go. It's a bit too much snow at the top, I think. But to be honest, I could even trim this house if I wanted to, or whatever. It's an example of what you can do. So I'm gonna finish up. I'm gonna look through this big old box of Christmas. Look at the dust on top of this. I don't know if you can see it, but this is only part of all my Christmas craft stuff and tags and embellishments. There's some little gifts and stuff there, and I'm gonna see. Oh, and there's like die cuts and everything. I'm gonna see what I can find for the 3 red sleds. I gotta finish dehydrating those other oranges, finish painting those other ones, do all this fun stuff, and that is our Christmas craft day. It is again almost, it is like 2 hours, just like my food one was last week. So I hope that you guys really enjoyed the things that we made today. Where did I put everything? Okay. This and that and the other thing. I know I dropped one of the sleds. Okay, we didn't make the blue sled today, so we made, wait, where's the other sled? Ah, I know one of the sleds is in the bag, but I could pick up the one I made when I was 12 that started it all. So sleds and mushrooms and houses. How can I hold all these and smile at the same time? Christmas crafts with Lisa, Rambling Hour. I hope you guys enjoyed those things. If you don't have the things that I have all over this table, that's okay. Like I said, even something as simple as this is cardboard, right? We all have leftover cardboard, most of us anyways. And if you don't have a white pen, whiteout, what do you guys call it here? I can't remember what it's called here, but paint tends to be cheap in places. So there's things you can do. If you have any ideas that you want to give to me to let me know, then let me know. And we can try doing other things next year. Mom says bye. I did. Love you. So I hope that means that Mom enjoyed watching me for her birthday. So again, Mom, happy birthday. I hope you have a great day, the rest of your day. Everybody else, it is coming up. Christmas is in a week. So the only thing you'll be seeing me for Christmas is reading kids' stories. And I'm not sure what day that'll be, but I will put it on there. And again, if the kids can't see me reading the kids' stories live, then they can just catch up and watch it later. If you want me to say your kids' names in the video when I'm reading, let me know the kids that you want me to mention by name, like I do my nieces and nephews and stuff. So I love you guys. Have a great Sunday. Have a great week. And hope you guys are getting ready for Christmas. If you want or need anything else, I'm here. I'm always here for you guys. I have my phone with me almost all the time. So happy holidays and Merry Christmas if you celebrate Christmas. Otherwise, I will see you guys later. Bye. Love you.